Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by Garrett Zacharias. Of course, he will be down at the ARCA Test this weekend in Daytona. Just kind of talk about that for a minute. How exciting is it? And first off, thanks for coming on. And how are you, man?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you contacting me today and getting this Zoom meeting together. It's really a fun opportunity to talk about it a little bit more. Like I said, I'm stoked. A couple weeks ago, my uncle called me with an opportunity that Patrick Emerling needed a few drivers for the ARCA Test coming up at Daytona, and he said it might be a process to get it going, but if we can get it, we'll stick with it. And about a couple weeks ago, he finally confirmed it with me, and we said that we'd be going down to Daytona for the test. And when he said it was confirmed, I was at home jumping up and down, calling family. Just stoked overall to get an opportunity to even get a shot to hopefully get approved this weekend and go somewhere from there and just see how it all turns out.
Yeah. So, Garrett, how old are you by chance?
I'm 18.
You are 18 years old. Man, you're so young.
Yeah.
So kind of talk about like your background in racing. And just talk about where you're from and what you do.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, my family's been racing for generations after generation. My dad got me into racing when I was 5 years old. I started running like a quarter midget type of deal. I ran quarter midgets since I was the age of 5 until I was about 15 years old. We got many New York State championships with that as well, as long as a lot of feature wins throughout the series. And then when I was 15 years old, Dad stepped me up to the INEX Bandolero at our home track in Chemung, New York, Chemung Speedrome that he's ran at for his years. And then he said, why don't we give it a go, a bigger step into it, and just getting my feet wet with a little bit of a bigger race car. When I did that, the first year we got Rookie of the Year down on our home track. No wins, but just getting our feet wet, like I said. And then 2016, we moved on. We went back to our home track weekly again when we ended up winning the first week. And we ended up, I think that season we traveled to Chemung Speedrome, Bethel Speedway. We went to Charlotte Motor Speedway. We ended up, I believe, with 24 wins out of 27 races that year. And we also ended up 4th in the nation overall and 1st in New York State. And then we ran Bandoleros until about late 2018. Just more track championships at Chemung and also just multiple feature wins across New York and PA. And then 2019, we moved to a bigger stock car, I should say. It's called a super stock where we're from, more of like a street stock, limited late model, sort of between there. So we started doing that in 2019. It was my rookie year. My dad drove those for multiple years, and he wanted me to do what he's done. So we stepped up to those and ended up getting 2 feature wins at the end of the year. It was a big relief off of my shoulders because, finally struggling all the first half of the year, then finally getting some wins going. And then 2020, we didn't really have a race season because of COVID. We only ran one race, and then COVID kind of brought that to a halt. And then back in 2021 was our first really getting to travel more. We ended up with 10 wins, a track championship at Chemung, and then also a New York State championship as well. And then this last season in 2022, we did more super stock races as I was doing. We ended up with 11 wins and a New York State championship once again. And then over the past 2-3 months, we've took 2 trips down to Florence Motor Speedway down in Timmonsville, South Carolina, and I ended up running a limited late model. The first time I went down there, just trying to just see what I do with a bigger step in racing, I should say. We ended up qualifying second. Then we had a little bit of a miscue after qualifying and had to start tail. We started, I believe, 18th that night and ended up 6th with no yellows, first time ever in a late model. So then we went back for the 400 weekend with a limited again. And just kind of was like just to see what we can do, maybe make a little bit more ground up, just get more experience, maybe get my name out there a little bit more. We went back there and was running 5th at the time, and then got an incident, and it didn't really go as well, but still had a lot of experience. And then now this ARCA test. Like I said, I got the call, and it's approved to go down there, and we're stoked.
So if everything goes well, where could this lead?
See, that's the thing. I don't really know yet. I've heard my uncle's kind of giving me some hints. If I do get approved, and we do, and the team does have an open seat, possibly for the race this year. If we can get the funding available, we might be doing the race. What I've heard.
Talking about the ARCA race at Daytona.
Yes, sir. And then also possibly making the trip to Talladega in the middle of the season with the ARCA Menard Series as well. It's up in the air right now. As I said, we still got to go this weekend and get everything approved, and just get my feet wet, like I should say. As of right now, also run up here again in New York, but with the ARCA stuff, I'd love to get approved this weekend and possibly get the funding available for possibly Daytona.
Yeah. So you talk about some of the races that you've been able to do. Well, I was literally texting my New York friends about. I had to figure out who you because I know you've won some. Big block races up at Oswego and all that stuff. Kind of talk about just racing up in New York, and what's that like for people that might not understand.
Upstate New York, there's a whole lot of stuff. I've only done asphalt stuff, actually. That you might be thinking of my cousin. He's won a few races up there. But I have won a few races up at Oswego on the asphalt side this year. We won 3 out of row. So New York, I mean, it's just, there's a few racetracks up here, not much as like a Virginia or South Carolina, I should say. We just we travel as we can, It's great racing up here. I got a lot of friends, a lot of family. We race against about every week up here, just trying to get our name out there. And it's finally starting to roll here. And it's a fun place up here in New York. I love it. There's a lot of support up here from my vantage point. It's just getting our feet wet with everything up here. And then this goal was the goal of my life so far, just to make it this far. So it's just been great.
You're 18 years old and you're about to go at Daytona. Not many people have said that they could be able to do that. What's that going to be like for you when you first go down there? Because it's going to be an experience that you'll never forget.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm stoked. Like I said, the first thing I'm wondering is the speed. I talked to Andy Jankowiak a few times, at Patrick Emerling as well. And they say it's just right to the floor. You just don't know lifting, especially, I got to get used to the drafting. That's going to be a big point that I got to learn over the weekend. I'm just amazed. I mean, it's the World Center of Racing, the biggest stage, even with a test, I'm still, the opportunity is unreal. I can't thank Emerling Gase Motorsports enough for the opportunity, and having a good connection with Patrick because of up here in New York and Buffalo area. Knowing him, and he's given me some notes so far this week, and going down there. Friday morning we'll chat about it, and just I've been watching some videos as well on YouTube and everything, and iRacing as well. Just trying to get more in my mind to get prepared to head down there.
Yeah. So let's what is the end all? Do you want to go to NASCAR, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, that's been my goal forever. Since I started racing is NASCAR. We've watched it every weekend as family. We've gone to so many races, and my family's been in wheel and modified races and everything. And my career, I'd love to make it to Cup, Xfinity, Truck, even ARCA full time. That'd be great. Just to get my name out there from New York, and it's been a goal my whole life just to make it to the top level.
Yeah. What's going to be all right? Since you're 18, are you still in high school, by the way?
I am. This is my last year. Yes.
So do you actually go to public? Okay. So for most racers, they actually go online.
Mm-hmm.
You go to public school?
I do go to public school. Yes. Yep.
Are you in school like every day doing all this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. In school.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you probably have how are you going to navigate all this? Because, with all the racing that you do, What's been schools like? I mean, have you told anybody about that? Have you told your friends, teachers? What are they saying about all that?
Um, I've told some buddies of mine, and they keep up with me on social media and everything, and they were all stoked when I told them this week that I was actually heading down there. My buddy wanted to make sure I can see him tomorrow before I leave, so he can tell me all about it and make sure I keep him updated. No, I told some teachers about it. I got one teacher in my school that's goes to our local short track, and he's obsessed with racing. And
That's
when I
awesome.
told him that, he was jumping up and down. So, this when I go to school, public school, I'm kind of out of everybody. I'm the only race car driver in my school, the only person that really gets into it, as I should say. And it's very a different culture, I should say, when I go into school every day versus when I'm out of school, because
Yeah.
nobody really gets it as I do.
Yeah.
And this is my last year of high school, and most of my friends know what I do on the weekends and everything, and they stay up on it. But it's definitely a different factor every day going to school, being a race car driver.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Garrett Zacharias, well, you know what? Let's get to know you a little bit more. Let's maybe get some interesting facts out of you. Since it's the first time we've gotten to know you, for many people don't really know who you are.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's see. What's your go-to place for food?
My go-to place for food, probably anything around Mexican restaurants, taco restaurants. I like that stuff a lot. And also probably pizzerias as well, Italian places.
All right. Let's see. Favorite best racing moment. This could be something that you've watched or something that you've been a part of, or best win that you've had.
Definitely going to Oswego Speedway last year and winning at the Classic weekend with the $4,000 Dave London Memorial Race. Probably the biggest race up here in New York for us that we run with a Super Stock series, and
Yeah.
we ended up starting 13th that night and ended up working our way to win that race in a short 50 lapper. And then probably another thing that sticks out is this weekend. I mean, just the opportunity that I get to actually show what I can do possibly to these guys. And even, like I said earlier, get a shot at any type, even if it's a short track race with the ARCA series or even a plate race. And also, probably one more thing that can stick out in my mind, racing with my dad. The first year I started racing with a super stock when he's ran for multiple years and has multiple wins, getting to actually pass him my first year and actually beating him was definitely a huge applaud to probably my career, and learning a lot of stuff from him over the years and him helping me get to this level.
Yeah. Let's see. Favorite TV or streaming show you're really into right now?
I'm into the older race car movies, like Six Pack, Days of Thunder, Ricky Bobby. There's a few. That's about really all I watch. I don't really watch too much TV. I either go on probably YouTube, watch racing videos when I go to bed.
You know what? I mean, I'm on YouTube. This will be on YouTube. By the way, you better hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this.
I will.
All right. Well, that's more to the audience, of course. Let's see. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Probably time travel.
Okay.
Probably that, because just to get to all these different racetracks.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well are you at responding to text messages?
I would say a 9. I'm pretty good on social media. I like to connect with a lot of people. With anything with racing or anything in general, any questions, I also, I have like a graphic business I do with autograph cards, hero cards.
That's really cool.
And, the connections you make through internet is like this right now. It's phenomenal. I like to stay in touch with about as many people as I can throughout any socials, and just, text back within 5 minutes of somebody texting me.
That's awesome. And finally, what is something people might not know about you?
This is going to be a weird fact. I had open heart surgery on day 71 of my life, and that's actually my race car number. And it's kind of a weird coincidence because it's not my race car number isn't because of that. It's because of family, and it's weird how it all added up to be that number. That I think like 71 days is like, whoa, you think about that, and then we've all had that number in racing, and it's like, huh.
Yeah. For sure. That's pretty cool. And yeah, it's just yeah, just funny how things work out and overcoming challenges and all that. And look where you are now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Garrett, thank you so much for coming on. Congrats on the opportunity, and we'll look forward to seeing you down in Daytona.
Yeah. Thank you.